back to Carson Tate's video log. We're outside a very literary place, the Palm Springs Library, and I have two celebs here. I have Jacob and Diane Anderson-Minshall. Did I say that right?
You did.
I'm so impressed with myself. Okay,
I am very impressed.
We can cut there then. So I'm very excited to finally get to vlog with you.
Yay.
Too. So tell us a little bit about, you're both journalists, but you also write fiction and you write nonfiction. So.
Right.
Aside from the journalism, which we hope would be nonfiction.
It generally is, but you never know today.
All right, Diane, you're first up.
Okay, so I've been a journalist since I was 13. I started writing for my hometown newspaper in Little Payette, Idaho. I think we had a circulation of like 2,000 or something. And so I moved on to book editing and then magazine editing after that, and I did some TV and stuff, but I basically have been magazine editing. The last 20 years have all been in LGBT publishing. And most recently, I'm the executive editor of the Advocate Group in Here Media, so I manage Advocate Magazine, HIV Plus Magazine, SheWire.com, Gay.net, Out Traveler, all those brands.
Pretty much all gay things, right? Right?
Well, there's a lot of them.
But there's still a lot of lesbian stuff that yeah, you know, is on its own still. I started out actually writing fiction, and so I have like 4 unpublished novels that I wrote when I was like, you know, in college and high school. So, and then I got into journalism when we moved from New Orleans to San Francisco, and Diane took a job at On Our Backs, and I actually started doing distribution for them. And then a number of us left On Our Backs and started Girlfriends, and so I was one of the people that started Girlfriends. And since then, I've also written a lot of like reviews and stuff like that.
And he had a syndicated column for
several
years, Trans Nation.
Yeah, it was nationally syndicated, and I did that for about 4 years, I think, actually. And now I'm doing something that's really different for me, because I'm ghostwriting, which means I'm not doing any writing under I'm doing very little writing under my own name, but I'm getting paid, which is a new thing. So I get paid less, but I have my name. I have clips, and now I have no clips.
The novels don't pay so well. I just found that to be true.
So, but I also, like, last year, I just, like, got this thing in I just got a creative thing, and I'm working on a graphic novel. I have no idea if it will be for Bold Strokes. I have no idea where it's going to go, but when I'm not trying to finish our memoir, which we're working on finishing, I'm working on that.
So I want to talk about your memoir, but first I want to talk about your fiction. So you have your own novel, but you also have
we have the trilogy, the Blind Curves, Blind Leap, and Blind Faith, which is all the Blind Eye Detective Agency series, and then I have my solo book that came out, which is
our thing public yet, or new news about it?
Yeah, let me finish my part. So then I have Punishment with Kisses, which is an erotic thriller. I think they like to call it romantic intrigue here, but I call it an erotic thriller.
Oh, it's an erotic thriller.
and so that's out, and then they're all coming out on Audible.
Awesome. So talk about, I want to start by talking about writing fiction together, and then we'll segue into your current project.
The fiction,
it's really started after I was hurt. I used to be a park ranger, and I was injured, and I was spending a lot of time just laying on my back with nothing to do except for stare at the ceiling, and Diane got me a laptop, and around that time it was the
National Novel Writing Month.
Oh, yeah.
Where you write 50,000.
I've done that.
50,000 words in a month, and so we decided we'd do it together, and we've both been talking about doing, you know, sort of a detective thing. I'd come up with some characters to be the detectives, and Diane had come up with some people to kill. So we decided to like match those two things together, and we've been doing that ever since.
How'd you do the actual writing?
So we just take the way we do with the manuscript is the way that we've continued the whole series, basically, is whoever has the book at any given time, the manuscript at any given time, could take it anywhere they want. So, and the next person has to play catch up. So if you've taken it some dramatically different turn, you have to tell the next person, here's what she did, even though that kind of thing.
And it's around a campfire where one person tells part of the story, and then you just like
we're very much those people who, like, you know how earlier today somebody said there are the people who plan, and then there are people who buy the seat of the pants. We're by the seat of our pants. Like, we have sort of ideas. Like we had to actually plan out our series with Bold Strokes. So other than that, we're very much so. That's why really it can go anywhere, you know, just depending on where we're writing that day.
And so now you're working on a project together.
Right.
Now we're working on a relationship memoir.
Your memoir. Say memoir.
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 Thank you very much for indulging that. Mari, talk about that process, because you can't just make shit up.
No, that's it. Yeah, I think it'd be a lot easier. We probably would have been done a lot sooner had we. Because also what we're finding is between the two of us that we have to find sort of the compromised truth. Because we remember
I actually have an introductory thing that's about there's a thing that starts out about time and then goes into about truth. That's kind of a segue off of the time. And the time thing kind of starts from the point where Diane was talking about earlier today, which is that for years we've been saying we got together in 1990. Only we didn't. We got together in 1991, and the math doesn't work out if we say it. I've just always been like, okay, it's fine, I don't care. Sure. 1990 works for me, but now the math, so we got to work it. So we have to finally say, no, it's 91. But this like brings up this whole thing. We actually have different things about time. That's where it started from. And so when you're trying to mesh these stories together, there is there are two different truths. So what I say is, I'll tell you my side of the story, and then Diane will tell you what really happened.
Excellent. So what is the projected? When can we read this?
Well, we're just finishing the manuscript this month, so
you're going to sell it.
Yeah, I mean, basically because it would be Bold Stroke's first nonfiction book. You know, Rad wanted to, or Lynn Burrow, our publisher, she wanted to actually see it finished before she kind of like decides. We started the project with when Jennifer, our old editor, was still here, right. And she was sort of really a big advocate of it and kind of, you know, gave us one direction, and then after her departure we had to kind of take our reins ourselves in a different way. So I kind of say, you know, we'll get it to Bold Strokes this month, and they will either like it and it'll be their first nonfiction book, or I'll be our most recent failure, and we'll figure out what to do then.
Self-published.
So, I mean, I'm sure we've actually had offers from other publishers, so if Bold Strokes doesn't pick it up, we'll go someplace else, but I think it'd be a great fit for Bold Strokes.
So we'll wrap up here in just a minute, but for those people who don't know, I mean, you know, like if I wrote a relationship memoir, my wife's very interesting, but it probably wouldn't be very interesting because we don't have the same story. So to give people, you know, why are you writing a relationship memoir?
Oh, well, I was a serial killer. Actually, because we've been married 22 years, and for 10 of those, Jake has been a man.
15.
No.
Here's the time thing again.
You've been a man for 15 years. You've not. Dude, seriously.
Yeah.
So basically, when we got together, we were both little baby dykes, and in 1990. And then about 10 years ago or 15 years ago, depending on who you listen to, Jake became a man, came out as transgender and transitioned, and so the book is
I'm not trying to say I've been a man longer than you think I have. I'm saying I've been a man less time than you think I have. That's all.
Okay, well that was important to clarify. So yeah, it's partly about, basically everybody asks, like when he started transitioning, you know, and I still identify as queer, when he started and I was running the largest lesbian magazine at the time, so when he started transitioning, I got two things: A, you're gonna break up; B, how can you still be a lesbian? And C, dude, he's gonna go gay. Yeah. So those were like the three things I kept hearing from everybody, and then we would get all these books and documentaries in which one of those three things happened, and so finally, you know, we just decided to stop listening to everybody else and just kind of forge our own path. And
Option D.
Yeah. So this book kind of is like how we did that, because people just want to know how's that work, and what do you do now, and what do you call yourselves, and then so we're weaving that in with, since we've both been sort of on the forefront of, you know, queer publishing this whole time and really involved in the lesbian rights movement and stuff, you know, we're kind of weaving that all in with our own history.
Excellent. Yeah.
So, like I said, either they like it or they don't.
Well, we really appreciate it. We look forward to reading the memoir. Read their books because they're awesome, and you can get them all at boldstrokesbooks.com, and read the magazines. Yeah,
thank you.
Absolutely. So thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
This is Carson Tate's Video Log signing out.
Hi, guys.